Everyone, this is Anthony with Bangin Beers Podcast. I'm here with Ben, as always. Dave from Tornado Tag, and he's been on Bangin Beers a couple times. He's becoming more of a regular. And we're here with, well, I'll let you introduce yourself in a second. But we're at first time at a local business, so we're at Strikers here. So you see the lovely background. It is a little dark because we snuck in before opening hours to do this, so it's not super loud.
Don't tell anybody.
Yeah. But we're gonna do some craft beers that we got from North Carolina.
Yes, sir.
We'll talk about the brewery and stuff in a second. So you want to introduce yourself to the crowd?
Yeah, my name is Chuck. I'm the bar manager here at Strikers.
Awesome.
And a big fan of craft beer.
Yeah, a big fan of local music. Me and Chuck talked a couple weeks ago. We were here, and Chuck's like, "Well, we're next 2 Sundays we're going to be here.
Yeah.
It won't be live anymore. So Bangin Beers, we talked about on our pages. The Bangin Beers and all the other shows are not going to be live anymore. The reason for Not Cool in High School and Tornado Tag. The reason being is my laptop's horrible, and we're at the point now where. I feel like we're sacrificing quality to go live, and we don't really need to. And I think right now where we are, I don't want people to tune in, watch a terrible stream where it looks pixelated, or the mic doesn't match the voices because we're lagging, because the computer can't handle it, or the internet dips out on a second. So I just want to put the best quality out right now. So we're gonna record every episode and then upload them possibly another day. So the way this might work is maybe we'll have it's gonna look like for maybe this week for Tornado Tag, for Not Cool in High School and Bangin Beers, we took the week off, but realistically I think we're going to be a week ahead of schedule. So then we'll air this next Sunday, then the following Sunday the next episode. So I think that's the way we're going to do it now. So just behind the scenes stuff that you guys are going to know now, this is actually going to be probably a week later. And then we'll keep the regular schedule of these shows on Sundays, the other shows on Thursdays, other shows on Wednesdays, and we'll just keep doing that. If you want us to go back live and you want to help us out, in the link below is a description for PayPal. If you want to make a donation and help us grow, it is greatly appreciated, and it'll definitely help us speed up the process of getting better. We do have a lot of really cool stuff coming that's going to help us go do live streams better, because we talked about before in the stream, these microphones are not ideal for live locations.
Yeah.
These are more studio mics
or large crowds.
And no large crowds, no outdoor, no background noise, because I'm a rookie at this. We're still learning, and that was our first mistake when we bought the microphones. But they work for what we do now at the kitchen. So the podcast, the studio, the kitchen. It's a fucking kitchen.
It's the kitchen.
It's a
kitchen. The kitchen.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about Double Barley Brewing out of North Carolina.
Just one of my favorite places to stop anytime I'm driving along I-95. It's about halfway between here and Florida, halfway through North Carolina. This is a small family-owned brewery in Smithfield, North Carolina, and I've been ranting and raving about their beer for a long time, because pretty much any style of beer that they make, it's the best of its kind.
Awesome.
I stand by that. When I worked for Crowbot, this is the brewery that made the Supernatural Ale for the band.
I wish they still made that. I
Oh,
never
me
got
too.
I never got to try it.
I tried. Maybe it'll make a comeback one day.
Round 2, maybe a different style.
Maybe.
Well, maybe we can make the Mother Brain beer.
Hey, there was talk.
Was there?
Well, yeah.
Make a few
Maybe-
of them. Make
maybe,
a few of them based on the album.
I definitely
life.
try that.
I don't have a hand in that.
Double Barley, if you're listening, you have huge fans in Pennsylvania that would love some Crowbot beer. So if you want to get that going, that would be awesome. So we have all the beers here to our left. If don't pull them all over.
Okay.
We just put them on ice. So I don't know how we're sitting here. Check one. Let's check one out.
Abby's.
I mean, not actually check it out. Like feel if it's cold.
It's there.
It's good. All right.
Yeah, so I put it back in. I want to submerge it.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna drink it now.
Right.
So we're grab 2 of them out. So this is the Abbey's Amber Ale. Art is awesome on it.
Got 2 of them right there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So we'll go around the horn with one. Well, don't open it yet. Let's see how we do with one, because he's not drinking too much because he has stuff to do today.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Very dark.
yeah,
It's got
this
that
is
nice
good.
lager color.
Yeah.
Good amber.
I'll say if it's a dark beer, Tony might be in trouble.
Dark beers are my kryptonite. No matter what they're made of, it always tastes like coffee to me. So Double Bar Brewery on the label says shares a love for craft beer and the community and desire to bring them together. Check us out at doublebarbrewery.com. Just charge and warnings. This is a dark copper medium bodied beer with a nice malt balance. Maris odor and crystal malts. If I'm not, we're not beer experts. I just like to drink them and tell you if they taste good. This beer gives it a rich character while not being over malty. A great session beer, at least how Double Barley defines it as a session beer. So let's see how we go here. This is the Abbey's Amber Ale.
A session beer at 6% ABV. You gotta love it.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
So I don't know what the definition of session beer is. Maybe is that like how we call it an all day beer? Is that a
Pretty
session
much,
beer?
yeah.
That's exactly it.
All right.
Yeah.
So like you could polish off like 3 or 4 of them and be like,
I'll be honest.
you can drink them all day.
I agree with them.
This is a 6%. Who's been reviewed almost 5,000 times.
Wow.
Averaging at 3.53 according to Untapped.
3.5 is respectable. I'm around the same spot with my first taste. So I know it is an ale, but it to me it's very lagery.
It kind of feels like Yingling Lager.
It does. This to me has a very Yingling style taste to it, even though it's an amber ale.
Killian's kind of reminds me of Killian's a little bit.
So anytime I taste like a lager style beer, obviously because hometown crowd, we're from Pottsville, I always rank it with Yingling. I'm a Yingling fan. I know a lot of people in the area support it, and some people don't. This is delicious. I really like
You
this.
guys are on there.
Well, yeah, we're on there. As a venue, like Strikers is on Untapped, but there's a next level where
you can upload what beers you have.
Exactly.
Yes.
The flavor profile given is malty, smooth, sweet, light, and dark.
Yeah. This is a good beer. I like this. This can definitely be an all-dayer for me as well. Like I said, to me this falls more of a lagery taste, not so much an ale, but it does have that darker malty to it. I like this a lot. I can definitely drink this all day long.
I agree with you on that. I mean, it is at the end. It's pretty crisp.
Yeah.
Too. So like, obviously, it gives its namesake the session. That's pretty good.
All right, we'll pop that one back in the ice, and maybe we'll come back to that one.
Dave, I think you had a good point comparing it to Killian's. That's an Irish red ale.
Yeah.
This is it's got
It totes the line.
that darker tone.
Yeah.
Right.
This is Killian meets Yingling.
Yeah.
It's not over the top.
And they had a baby named Abbey.
Yeah, it's not over the top at all. It's very easy going down. I mean, I could see myself maybe drinking a 6-pack of this.
Almost Def.
This is like Yingling and Killian's had a girlfriend and they're fighting over her, and her name is Abbey. That's how I would rank this. This is this is an all day beer for me.
I think I'm going to respect the average review. I'm going to go about 3.5.
I would go 3 after having a couple more sips of it and about to finish my sample here. I would possibly. So the way we do it is 3 is it's a beer. I mean, I enjoyed it. I wouldn't go crazy for it. If it was the only thing there, I would have it again. 3.25 is it's a little more on the like. If it was there, I would probably choose it over something else. 3.5 is a very good beer. I would seek it out, or if it was there, that would be a first choice. 3.75 is something I would seek out, or I would have more of if I can get it. Now, for some of these beers, obviously it's harder for us to get them because Double Barley isn't distributed in our area. And then your 4 is like, holy shit, this beer was phenomenal. 4.25, and then 4.25, 4.5, 4.75 is pretty much perfect. It's hard. I'm trying to be more respectable with my 5s.
You've handed out several 5s in the last few weeks.
No, I haven't.
Yes, you have.
No, I have
You've
not.
handed out several
Let's go to
5s.
the books.
I have not.
Ben, how many 5s has he handed out in the last 3 or 4 weeks that we've
The
done
last
this?
5 I gave was the blueberry crumb from.
You mean
You gave
Tattered Flag.
Tattered Flag's blueberry
custard.
You gave the banana split beer a 5.
Actually, I didn't give the blueberry. I gave that a 4.75, and I gave the banana a 5. I think I gave that a 4.75.
I'm pretty sure one of the ones from the
Infinity.
episode with myself and Sarah, you gave a 5 out.
I don't know. The last 5 I gave, I think, besides those 2, was the Infinity Hop episode.
The blood orange.
The blood
that
orange.
was-
Definitely the blood
that was
orange. I know
good.
that was a
That was
guarantee.
phenomenal. That was so good.
I've yet to give out a 5 because honestly, what is a 5 when it comes to beer? I mean,
That blood orange was a
It has to
fiver.
have a lot of dynamics to it. Like
Yeah.
it's got to have a nice flavor to it.
it's got to make
be
me
like
want to come back to that place
description-wise.
over and over again and order that one beer for me to have it to be a 5.
Yeah.
So, what was your introduction, Chuck, to craft beer?
Hold on.
He's a businessman. Hold on, give him a second.
Business first.
Had to look. Oh, no, that we were recording and not to make noise when they come in.
Oh, okay.
When I turned 21, my sister was a bartender at a place called Kildare's in Westchester.
She's
Okay.
still working down there?
Not in Westchester anymore. The bar was one of the 2 most popular spots in Westchester for the college kids, and they had a phenomenal beer selection. So at the time when I turned 21, it was actually cool. They had a promotion going called Around the World in 80 Beers, and you got a list of everything that they had available, and every new beer that you tried, you got the bartender to sign off for you, and with every 10 beers, you got a different prize. It was an awesome promotion, and I got to try.
Now was it
So
was
many
it full
different
pint glasses or was it
Oh yeah,
several
You had
samples?
you had to buy a full serving. I mean, and usually that would either be a pint glass or a bottle. Some of the things like a trip ale will be a little snifter, but
Supposedly, there's a place in Shenandoah that does something similar, a bar.
Really?
It doesn't have as many on tap, but I think they sell a bunch of craft.
Yeah.
And what they do is you have 4 months to do 100 beers. 100 different beers or something like that, and when you buy the beers, if you complete their list or you get so many 100 different beers in a certain amount of time, you get a jacket.
nice. Yeah,
Oh wow.
that was a good way to spend 21, and I proud to say I got my name on the wall on the plaque. I think the 6th person to finish the challenge.
Oh wow.
So
Nice.
Now is that a once in a while thing they do or is that something they do a lot?
I got to be honest, I haven't been to that bar in years, so it's hard for me to say. I tried to go on Christmas Eve and they were closed. Go figure.
What is your type of beer? Like what if like your go-to? Are you a porter? Are you an ale? Are you a
I love
IPA?
sours. I love sours. I love goes. I like wheat ales. That's generally where I lean towards. And if I'm going with an IPA, I get on this soapbox all the time. An IPA can be hoppy for the sake of hoppy, and those are the ones that I don't mess with. But an IPA that has flavor that's accentuated by the hops.
Yeah.
That's what a true great IPA should be.
Yeah.
Now,
I'm a higher hop count guy.
He likes
Yeah.
he likes the high hop.
So you like-
he likes the
yeah.
bitter beer face.
The IBU.
Yeah, and we were talking to there's a lot of really cool stuff we talked about last week when it came to making beers with the Budwashers. They definitely clued us in a lot of cool stuff that I didn't even know about, and it sucks that audio wasn't able to be used because once again our mics are terrible. But we're gonna definitely sit down with the Pillar Root guys again. So if you are looking for that episode, it's gonna happen again. We just couldn't use the audio because where we were.
Yeah.
But they said a lot of breweries are not even using the IBUs anymore. They're not even putting it. They're just
They're gonna throw it out pretty much.
because they said it's just not. It just for me, I look for it because the higher I'm like, oh, I'm more lean to buy it. But they said that might be something that may discontinue.
I think it could be off-putting for someone, and again, because the high IBU without a flavor profile to balance with it,
Yeah.
to me is just hoppy for the sake of hoppy, and that could be off-putting if it's coming from a brewery that doesn't
grab the next one.
appreciate that. Might as well try to find one of those IPAs in there. I know there's 2.
Oh, well, we have 2 of these. We're gonna do this one
Steak
twice,
cake.
but we'll go for it right away.
So growing up in Pottsville, most of us growing up in the School County area, of course, we have one of the largest craft brewers in the United States, being Yingling.
The largest, I
What is
believe.
your go-to Yingling?
Oh, Chesterfield.
My man.
My man.
My man.
And here's the thing. Here's the thing about Chetty that is undeniable. A lager is a lager, a premium.
That's a craft beer.
A Chesterfield. I mean, I've had 500 different beers just checked in onto Untapped, and I've never found anything that's the same. That's
Like
close.
Lord Chesterfield or
Yeah,
Chetty.
like Chetty has never been imitated. Nobody has ever come close to getting that unique, perfect balance of
A premium and a lager.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Like,
It has a skunkiness to it, but I like it.
but it's appropriate.
Yeah.
It's an appropriate skunkiness. It's appropriate bitterness. And it's smooth. It's refreshing.
And they will crush you if you're not careful.
Fucking A, they will. Is this a cursing program?
Yeah, you can curse. You can curse.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm representing the business.
Yeah.
So Tony's gonna be a little turned off here, but the next one Ben pulled out is the steak cake stout.
Oh yeah.
So this is a stout.
It's an imperial stout.
Usually stouts I'm fine with because stouts aren't usually with the high roast and you don't get the coffee taste. Where the porter is more of the roast. Am I right? Or is it the other way around?
Vice versa.
All right, well, fuck it. Here we go.
So it says surprisingly smooth and easy to drink with a little bitterness, balanced with roasted flavors, hops, and
Yep,
malt.
there's roast. Yeah.
Pours a brown, creamy head and that stays throughout the drink, mildly carbonated, lending to the smoothness.
So no matter what you tell me this is going to taste like, for some reason...
It's gonna be coffee.
It's going to taste like coffee to
So
me.
2 people at this table is going to like it. 2 people at this table is probably going to hate it.
Yeah.
Be like, "Meh."
We'll see. We see what happens here. Now, once again, if you want to mix and clean your glass out, you can. We're savages. We just go for it on this show.
There's only one episode where we really rinsed, and I want to say that was the Infinity episode because
Yeah.
we wanted
Yeah,
to get
we
the
wanted to enjoy all those beers.
for how much you gave up for that show. I think it was appropriate to at least get the full flavor of
And
each.
how? Yeah, Ben got beers from Texas. It was definitely it was.
I may or may not disclose how I got
The
them.
Power Stone from the Infinity series was a 14% Russian double imperial.
go
Russian
easy, go
Imperial.
easy with me on that one. So I don't want to waste it
Mm.
in case I don't like it.
Russian Imperial, yeah. And then after that, we still had some in the cans left over, and we
immediately
cuvee
coffee.
all
Immediately
of them.
coffee.
So like we mixed all of them together.
And called it the Snap.
Yeah,
Yeah, we called it the snap.
it was ridiculous, and like the one page was like the one guy's like, oh, I got all of them, thanks a bunch, so and so, and then I said, hey, mix them all, like cuvee all of them, and he just started laughing. I'm like, dude, seriously, it's that good, like even if you have like the stouts and all that in the
Yeah.
wet, which we practically did, you tasted the fruit still.
Yeah. I mean,
Wow.
you think about it. You mix. None of them were below an 8.
Yeah, they were all.
They
super
were all
strong.
above an 8.
It
The
was
highest
actually
being
it was
14.
Ingenious. So Ingenious used to be in Pennsylvania,
Yeah.
up in Harrisburg, and they moved from Pennsylvania to Texas.
Of course.
Yeah.
So this is a 10% reviewed just under 7,500 times on Untapped with an average of 3.82.
So it's thick, it's dark, it's coffee, but it's not terrible coffee. I still wouldn't have more than what's in my glass, just because that's not for me.
That's good.
You
Yeah.
know what kind of it reminds me a little bit of a Guinness
It is.
aftertaste.
It's
then,
more of a
too, which
Guinness.
is
It has
nice.
more of a Guinness to it than the coffee,
Yeah.
but it still has a coffee taste to
You
me.
see, I'm not a Guinness drinker at all. I'm not a coffee drinker, but I'm not really getting coffee in that. I'm getting
I do.
more of a
I definitely taste
There's
the
a
roast.
sweetness there.
I'm getting more of
Definitely
like a-
sweet roast.
that baker's chocolate. You know how it has that like very subtle bitterness to it. I'm getting like a baker's chocolate out of it, so it's really not coffee for me. This is actually not bad.
Yeah, it's not terrible. I would say if you're a stout person, this is probably right up your alley. I'm interested to see why they're going with the steak.
Probably you can just eat.
I'm
and
thinking,
drink what you
do they have
don't
a
eat with
restaurant
it.
attached with the brewery?
Yes, they do.
Maybe that's their way of promoting the food, saying if you're having a steak or something, you have
This would be a
por-
very good beer with a meat.
Yeah,
And
so
that's
you,
and
you
that's
have
a
the steak
10%
cake
too.
stout with the steak. Maybe you have Abbey's ale with a burger. Maybe that's their way of pairing food because Angry Orchard does that. They have an app to where, depending on what you're eating, if you're eating pork, they suggest you use the crisp apple Angry Orchard to pair with your food.
Okay.
So maybe that's their giver to the names.
Maybe.
You know what? I'll find out I'll get the story for that for next week.
And what we're going to do is we're going to take pictures of all the beers and stuff we have, and we're going to post it and tag Double Barley and stuff
Yep.
like that. Maybe we can reach out to them that way as well. All right, I'm going to try to get rid of this.
It's really not that bad, Tony. And I'm saying that about a dark beer, and I'm not a dark beer guy.
There's no way you can get through Tony with a stout. We got him with the sours. We broke him down with the sours, and now he's.
I hated
he's
sours for
good.
the longest time.
Really?
I hated them.
Some of my favorites.
Oh, we fucking hammered him.
We've got a good selection of sours here.
Yeah, that was actually my next question. So, if people come to Strikers, what can we expect beer wise?
You could expect me to talk your ear off.
Yeah.
Because you get me started talking about beer, I'm gonna go. Right now, I'd say probably one of the breweries that's getting really featured is Evolution.
Evolution,
We've got
okay.
4 of their beers now. Unfortunately, none of them are on draft. But we do have the Evolution Lot Number 3 IPA. We've got the Pine Hopple IPA, which is awesome.
I don't know. I just went in there. I almost killed myself. I would have died on camera. I tried to chug it real quick, and the ice all went down my throat. Bad. I'm sorry.
Didn't work so well.
Sorry.
Huh? We also got that Day Crush Session Sour Ale, which is phenomenal on a hot day. Like, God willing, if today ends up being my day off and I get to sit outside on this patio, that's what I'm going to be drinking.
I may, after we wrap up, I may have one with you.
I think you should.
What time does the kitchen open today?
2 o'clock.
2?
Because I was kind of hoping it would have been open there. I was kind of hoping to have lunch.
No,
yeah,
we came early so we can get the quality down.
Yeah. No, we'll be opening at 2. Actually, staff should be showing up soon.
Yeah. You got
Who's
3
the bartender
trogs.
today?
Cody.
Yeah. You got three trogs on in the bottle. You have
we do.
Dreamweaver, you have Perpetual, and you have Java Head.
Yep. And when the first cut is seasonal.
Yes.
When that
And
comes
now,
out, oof.
when we were doing
it.
Tornado
Love
Tag
it.
podcast, I was usually picking up a 6-pack because the fridge wasn't really full at the time. We didn't want to use the beers in the fridge to drink it outside of the episode. So I would stop at Wise, in which their selection has gone way down. They refuse to really put new stuff on the shelves, which I don't understand. But I grabbed a 6-pack of First Cut and I brought it up with him, and I know how much he likes peach. And we housed it before the show was over.
I actually have a bottle of First Cut sitting in my fridge right now. When we went to Trogs, we went and bought it. I'll tell you what, Trogs has this lager. What's it called again? Not Your Everyday or so. I forget what it's called. They have a lager and they do another one. So it was my first. That was my first brewery I went to. That was Trogs.
Oh, yeah?
It's beautiful. If you haven't done
I have
Trogs, the
not been
food
there,
when
and
in
it's so
doubt.
close.
when in doubt. So they have a lager called When in Doubt. Awesome lager. And then we had
Was it that standard lager color, that dark brown?
Actually, no. It was a lot. It wasn't very dark. It was almost like a golden, like a golden pilsner
Like that.
style.
That's different.
It was gorgeous. It was gorgeous. It was tasty. And then we had a bunch of flights. And the one flight, and we all shared off flights. It was the weirdest episode ever because like we were all literally sharing off a flight, and we're like
The little.
It doesn't
two-
matter.
same mouth,
Yeah.
same class 4 mouths. So it was great.
Now, Chuck,
but
what are the odds that you can get Le Grave in here?
Le Grave is a good beer.
Le Grave is a Belgian. It's
They
probably
actually
one of
have
their better ones.
when you go to Trogs, you can get Le Grave in a bourbon barrel.
Don't tell me that.
It's awesome.
Don't tell me that, because now I'm gonna want to go there.
Yeah, it's
I
awesome.
bought a few
me-
Trogs and 2.
Let me see what I can
bottles.
do.
So
You get
for
Le
the show
Grave in here. This might be my new drinking spot.
It should be. Plays good music, at least.
Yeah.
And another thing. So you have I'm trying to just go by memory. You had some Reds, some Angry Orchard, some Killian's, Guinness. The cooler has a lot. And then on tap we got Lager, Golden Lager, Miller Lite,
Blue Moon.
a Blue Moon.
What's
Golden Pilsner. We got the
Summer Shandy.
Summer Shandy.
Yeah.
And Natty Light.
Natty Light.
Oh, you cheap.
$1.50
cheap.
draft.
No, that's a good. That's honestly.
No, whoa. Is it
Cost
Natty Light or
effective.
Natty Bow Light? There is a difference.
Oh, it's just Natty Light.
Honestly, for School County, I think every tap should have the $1.50 tap.
Oh, absolutely.
100%.
You gotta go
That's a
with
good
that.
move.
Now you got to
That's a good
remember,
move.
back in the day before Hucklebuck started hiking their prices, you can go in there on a Tuesday and get a $1 PBR and eat all the tacos you wanted. And then they did away with the PBR, and then it was $1.25 Lion's Head. Still 2 very good beers to pair up there.
Yeah.
We've got the $2
don't knock it.
Lion's Head bottles all day, every day.
How much?
Yeah.
$2.
I could do that.
Yeah.
Not to mention Lion's Head has that little game in the cap.
you
You got to
get-
try and figure out the name.
And you get to keep the cap.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a.
Now, see,
That's
the funny thing about Lion's Head is you'll find almost every cap once. There's one
yeah.
that it's almost impossible to find. There's 140 of them, I believe. Take a guess which number is impossible to find.
Tell me
69.
69.
that's good marketing. All right, let's grab the next one out here.
And it's crazy because you'll sit there and like, man, I've got like 30 number
Touche
17s here.
IPA.
There's some boobies on this one.
Yes, there are
Oh,
some
yeah.
cartoon boobs on this, and it's a 6.8. Touche IPA is a heavily hopped American-style IPA featuring 5 different hops. A well-balanced, easy-drinking beer that pairs well with a variety of foods. This is our go-to beer all year long.
So this is their their signature beer. So it's a girl with a fencing sword with
hot
huge
woman.
boobs. Looks like a Renaissance
That's
thing.
not a girl. That's a woman.
That's a woman, and but her head and face is a hop,
Yes.
which is cool. Cool
And
art.
they actually do an actual definition on the bottle first that I see it. Touche! Exclamation! Touche! In fencing, used as an acknowledgement of a hit by one's opponent. 2. Used as an acknowledgement during a discussion of a good or clever point made at one's expense by another person. 3. The brewmaster made this IPA for his wife. Sha. I don't know how to pronounce that. I failed linguistic. No, I didn't fail linguistics, but barely got.
Touche IPA from Double Barley Brewing is a 6.8 ABV, 76 IBU, reviewed almost 6,000 times with an average of 3.61.
Good for them.
And I got something for Chuck then too, because you brought up, around the world in 80 beers. They actually did something like that in State College way back in the day when I was going to college, and I was like, oh wow, like that's pretty cool. I heard about it.
So
And-
the way the name is spelled for the wife, I wonder if it was Shy, like Cheyenne.
Oh yeah.
Oh. But yeah, it was funny because I'd go there, I tried it 3 times. The third time I finally got the passport to log everything in. The first time I go, hey, you got any passports? No, all right. So 2 months,
I like
I
the
went
color
back
on this.
and I was like, hey, do you got any more passports? They go, no, we didn't get them. So finally I got fed up. It was maybe 4 or 6 months. I said, okay, do you have passports? And the one guy's like, yep, we got it. I was going to give up on the third try. So they usually give you 22-ounce bottles then too, and I'm like, wow, I'm not going to get that loaded. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
It has
my
a
one
nice
buddy,
smell, the color's nice.
Yeah. So
It's a great incentive to get people excited about trying new beer and get people. I mean, not for nothing, but you do it especially in the college market.
Correct.
yeah,
I mean, you've got every year you've got another crop of new drinkers, and they don't know what they want. I mean, when you're 20, and every year up to that, you're at the mercy of someone else buying your alcohol.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't get to decide.
Fresh
what you
21,
want.
you're going to drink
21.
domestics until you finally branch out when you hit that 24, 25 saying, I want to try something else.
my first couple crafts I hated.
Well, true, you do have the Trogue story where you insulted the vice president.
Yeah, I did. I told Vice President.
He told him his beer sucked right to his face.
I didn't know who he was at first. In my defense.
Good.
But when you're fresh 21,
Gotta
you
be
don't know
VP.
But
what...
since then, Strokes has become my favorite brewery, one of my favorite breweries, and they changed their game. So I'd like to think that I was a hand of
Maybe
that.
someone,
contributor.
Maybe someone just needs a good
Who do we
kick in
have
the ass.
here?
That is Troy. He's back there hanging out.
Hi Troy.
Are you one of the cooks, a bartender? What do we got?
He's our head mechanic. He keeps the bowling alley up.
Oh,
and
okay,
running.
okay.
Cool.
So yeah, if you don't know,
And he-
Strikers is not just a bar; it's also a bowling alley.
Oh, yeah.
So Troy probably knows my parents, and probably even knows me. The Blackwells, Nancy and Tony, they live here. So I was raised in
Yeah.
bowling alleys my entire life. Yeah,
Welcome back.
yeah. I'm actually decent at bowling, but I don't want to be.
Oh, I am the worst bowler in this place.
Bowling is that one thing you do with your friends when you have no clue what you want to do that night. And what are we still charging here? $4.25 a game?
Oh, don't ask me. I don't know.
I believe it's still $4.25 a
Right.
game. And Cosmic Bowling on a Saturday night, the lights go out, the pins light up, you
Now-
win a couple free games.
Is it next Friday where you guys are doing the promotion thing where the games we were talking about the other day? What's that?
Good old days.
Next Friday. So
Saturday,
Saturday and Sunday.
So next Saturday and Sunday, it's good old days. You want to talk more about that at Strikers? Or I believe it's cheaper games.
They specifically asked me to stop answering bowling-related questions because I'm never right.
Well, let's get the head
But it-
mechanic.
but it
and
is-
Once it's off the
him
phone,
answer
we'll have him
question.
come over.
It is 50-cent games, 50-cent hot dogs, and 50-cent natty light drafts.
Ooh,
Wow, that's a triple threat right there. So
Right.
hot dogs, beers, free 50-cent bowling. But yeah, anyway, so my family's really, they're not amazing, but they're good bowlers. My uncle Jody Webb, he was a phenomenal bowler. Now we were Plaza people. Plaza lanes,
Oh
and then
my
Plaza
God, yeah.
closed, and they all migrate
over
over to
here.
Strikers.
You got to remember, there was no bowling alley in Pottsville there for a while because this place had not opened up before Plaza closed because of the mudslide out back.
Yeah,
this
and it used to
bowling
be
alley was
Westwood.
completely destroyed by a mudslide.
And it was called Westwood
Oh, yeah.
Lanes
Yep.
then too.
Okay.
When it came down to it, at the end of the day, most people on this side of town never drove over to Plaza because I thought, why should we? This alley's here. But Plaza was more of the general consensus because coming down off of 61, it was right there.
Now,
You didn't
I
really have to
could be
drive across
wrong,
town.
but if you compared the Westwoods to Plaza back in the day, Plaza was the nicer of the two.
Plaza was the better value and the nicer alley.
Yes.
So I 100%.
And sometimes,
I wouldn't
sometimes a negative turns into a positive. So I remember now I am remembering the mudslide did happen, and Plaza was like, "Oh crap, we're actually closing soon because Wise is buying our building." And Westwood was like, "Well, they pretty much revamped everything, made everything super like up to date technology. The lanes are beautiful."
Plaza purchased this building, and then with the help of the right financial advisors, they actually turned it into what it is today.
Which is awesome. It's it's the state of the art one. You know, all the lanes have the picture, and it's beautiful. It's a really cool place. They have a cool arcade. Bud that works the front desk. I've known Bud
Yeah.
since I'm.
and I used to
10
be a
years old.
fantastic bowler up at Plaza with those wooden lanes. I came down here on the synthetics. I haven't bowled above a 215. That's
Really?
my best game down here. And
I haven't bowled above an 80.
Oh boy.
are you that bad?
Oh, hell yeah.
The only lanes I could not bowl on at Plaza. See, I throw a backup ball, and I'm a righty who throws from the left-hand side. So the only time I couldn't bowl at Plaza is if you put me on the lane where the pole was in the middle of your
That
approach.
was 17. The pillar was right there in front of you, so you had to like step around the pillar to make your
and
shot.
it fucked me up every time. It was I hated. I was like a little. So I was young, and I was in bowling leagues with my mom and my brother. My mom, and my dad, and I remember it was me and my mom in an adult youth league, and there was this guy named Terry. Now Terry had like the record for most 300s at one time at Plaza. Like they had the 300 board, and he was pretty close to the top. And this dude bowled a 299 in an adult youth league with his kid. And I remember just sitting there, my mom like, I quit. like when you step on the court and you're 8 years old and Michael Jordan houses you, you're like, I'm over this.
I'm done.
Like I've seen it. I'm good.
The one thing I would like to
I will
see
never
come
be
back.
that.
The one thing I would like to see come back that Plaza had that they should have brought down here was jackpot bowling.
Oh, with the
You come in on a Friday night, you pay $15 to bowl 3 games. Each strike you got a card. And now, by the end of the night, whoever made the best hand out of the cards got an opportunity to bowl for the jackpot. So you could throw one strike, it's 3 shots. If you throw 1, you win a third of the pot. If you throw 2, you get 2 strikes, you win half the pot. If you throw 3, you win the whole pot.
I don't remember that.
They
but
have
something like
little
that, yeah.
incentives like that going on during a lot of the league nights. They'll have things like that, which again, don't ask me to give you too much correct information on the leagues.
And I remember the last night Plaza was open, they made it a special jackpot night on a Tuesday night because the thing was up over $3,000.
Wow.
So they did raffle tickets and they started pulling raffle tickets. Each time your ticket was pulled, you got to throw 1 ball for a strike, and they chopped the pot all the way down until they got rid of it all.
Nice. I do remember when Plaza they would do it was a glow bowling, and if you got the color the special color head pin.
The red head pin, they still do that here.
Do they?
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
you get like
You get
a
a free
dollar?
game.
Yeah.
Oh,
You get
free
it-
game?
Free game.
Oh, okay.
Well,
yeah.
actually, you get a strike, you get a free game.
Nice.
But
Yeah,
the head
get a
pin
card.
must be red.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's all, and the cool thing here that they have the drop down screens when they play like the music video with the songs.
yeah.
It's awesome. It's cool. So
nostalgic.
It's definitely
Yeah.
something to do in the Pottsville area if you want to come hang out with friends and family. Strikers Lane is here. They have stuff for the kids. They have the arcade. The arcades has prizes.
Not a bad place to have your birthday party either.
Yeah,
right.
you can have a birthday party. I actually, my mom comes here quite frequently, and she had enough tickets the one day, and she goes, "I'm really close to a really big prize over there. You should help me out and go play this game." So I went over, put like $40 in the machine, and I kept playing the coin game, and I was crushing it. And I got a lot of tickets, and my mom's like, well, "Whatever you want, you can get." And I was like, "Oh, cool!" So I got an Amazon Alexa.
Yeah.
I got an Amazon Alexa at a bowling alley. Like that's awesome. And then I had like 20,000 tickets left over. Like I had a lot of tickets, and then the game, it was a SpongeBob game, so you get the cards. So this kid was there, and he's like, "Man, I only need like these cards to complete like 4 or 5 more sets, and those 5 or sets would take me over the limit, and I can get the Xbox One or the PlayStation 4. So I was like, so I had enough. I already paid for the Alexa. I gave him the rest of my tickets, gave him the 4 cards he needed to complete his 4 sets, And then he was like, Dad, I can get the Xbox. And he's like, you have to ask your mom first.
That's great.
But I don't know. I love arcade stuff like that. I go in arcades all the time. Me and my wife will get a bunch of tickets, and I just give them to a kid.
Do you ever go to a barcade?
Like a Dave and Buster's?
No,
I have not.
no, they're so much better. There's a great one in Philly. I've been to one that was in Baton Rouge. They're old school arcades.
Yeah.
Stand-up boxes,
Right,
Street
right,
Fighter. One of my favorite games at the barcade in Fishtown in Philly is called Tapper. It is a bartending video game.
Right, Tapper, you
Where
got to rush up and down the
You have
screen.
4
and
tables.
You got to
there are
fill the
4
drinks
bars.
as they go.
Yep.
Valley Midway,
and
there you go.
And collect the money. You always gotta collect the money too.
Yeah, you got to run out to the bar and you can't get caught.
They throw their empty glasses at you, and you have to run between 4 different lines.
You got to dodge the
bar.
glasses.
It's amazing.
You have to get the glasses so they don't smash on the floor.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of them, and I'm talking about the Philly one because it's the one closest to us. But
There's one
it's
in-
an amazing concept, and some of them, the games will be free. You pay for the drinks, and the arcade aspect is just there.
Keep your enjoyment.
To keep you there, and if you're not a big drinker, but your friends want to go out for a night, you've got something to
Traditional
yeah.
Mortal Kombat.
I think that we have.
We actually have one of those Sega Genesis emulators, and we did like old school Sega Genesis nights here.
Oh, yeah?
Wow.
Yeah, definitely something I want to do again. But we have a projector just like that plays the music videos out in the alley. We have the same thing, the same projector, put on a Sega Genesis right there.
Now, I know we're very close to this football season. Strikers is
Oh,
definitely
yeah.
a hot spot for the football season.
We get all of the people,
NFL Sunday ticket.
all the people that don't like Eagles or don't have a bar that's like Eagles or
Washington Redskins.
This is where the oddball team fans come.
Hey,
We've got some Rams fans.
I'm a Chargers fan.
We've got
I'm
Raiders.
here.
We've got
I am
Chargers.
here on a
Yes.
Sunday to see my game.
You guys have a Sunday
We
ticket
got
here?
the Sunday
yeah.
ticket. Oh yeah.
And
And
usually the
I'm always
Eagles game
here.
is on the projector because everybody bitches and complains because it's not on TV.
Not,
it's
not
on
so
the
much
projector.
anymore. You know, a lot of the bars around here, everyone's the Eagles bar. Steelers. We get a lot of Steelers fans now.
And
Mike,
usually
Mike
it's
Twig especially.
and the
Yeah.
best thing about it is it's not
Steve Foose.
Then during the 1 o'clock games, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 TVs in here, 5 different games, and 1 game on the projector.
That's
so
right.
you can watch 6 out of 12 games.
Yeah.
So I want to throw a proposition to you. Ben, while we're doing that, grab the next beer here.
Sure.
Not that one. Not that one. In the back.
Nope, we already had that one.
In the back.
No,
We had that one.
all the way in the back. There
For
we
the
go.
Thriller and Vanilla, right?
So now
Yeah.
we're actually
This is my favorite.
going to take this beer and mix it with the other one then later, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Thrill it in vanilla. I think I might actually enjoy this one a little too much. I love
So
vanilla.
you guys have trivia nights here. What are your trivia nights?
Thursday night.
Thursday night.
Thursday night trivia. I host it. I like to think we have fun. We do 4 rounds plus a picture round. One of them is audio, name that tune. Right now we got about 5 dedicated teams that show up every week, and new people are coming in all the time. We start around 8:30. Usually lasts about 2 hours.
Nice.
So
So here's
Lot of fun.
the proposition for you. Maybe not on the same night you do your trivia that you do now, but maybe like a Tuesday night or a Wednesday night, we'll figure something out. We want to do a podcast trivia. So we do a podcast called Tornado Tag, which is all professional wrestling. We have 2 guys that are part of the. I mean, we're all pretty big wrestling fans, so we have 2 guys that are like hardcore wrestling historians. We want to. They said they did it once at Hucklebucks, and it went over very well.
We did it. Andy Hedder did it at Hucklebucks once, and it was nut to butt in the back room there at Hucklebucks. You know how tight it is back there.
Yeah.
There was about 22 teams playing wrestling trivia.
And we want to do a wrestling themed trivia one night.
bring it on.
Awesome.
Right here.
I remember when he did that the first time around. I was like,
He met Andy that night and didn't know he met him, that he was going to be working with him on a podcast. Oh, working with him with the podcast a couple years later. Yeah. So we want to maybe do like a wrestling
Who were
trivia.
the teams on that? I know like Dave Cantwell, Steve Fulton. Were you there?
I was
too?
not. No. Even Steve was like, "Dude, that was so much fun wrestling trivia."
It was me and my cousin Will and Ed Parry. They live on the other side of Frackville. We were a team.
You were cousins with those 2. I did not know that.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah.
And like I said, maybe we could do like a once a month thing, like 1 month wrestling. Then we can do like not cool
Pop
in high
culture.
school. We can do like pop culture, like movie trivia or video game
absolutely.
trivia or something like that.
Yeah, let's make something happen. Actually, one of the things maybe you guys would be interested in, we are going to do Family Feud nights
Oh.
So we've got
The tornado, the interviews with everyday people family.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of fun. The people that are coming out are having a great time, and they're constantly bringing,
I mean, if I shave my beard down to the mustache, can I play Steve Harvey?
I'm Steve Harvey.
Something you put in your mouth. Penis!
You could be Louis Anderson.
And you do the...
Why do I gotta be Louis Anderson?
and you give him that weird look like, you didn't just say penis. Steve Harvey.
So the Thrilla in Vanilla Porter is an 8%, 27 IBU beer. It is a smooth, medium-bodied beer with distinct bourbon-soaked vanilla bean flavorings, slight sweetness balanced nicely with malt bitterness, pours a tan head that tastes like vanilla whipped cream. It has been reviewed over 14,000 times at a 391. So this is the highest rated beer so far that we've come across.
My only complaint is the art. You're going to give me Thrilla and Vanilla, which is pretty much a play on the Muhammad Ali Joe Frazier fight, and you have a white guy versus a black guy on the label. Pennsylvania does have some history when it comes to Muhammad Ali.
And not even 20 minutes down the road is Muhammad Ali's training camp.
Yeah.
They're both orange. Neither one of them is white or black.
Really?
See, I'm not really getting
That guy on the right is definitely black. He looks like Sugar Rashad Evans.
Oh yeah, that does look like Rashad Evans.
And that one looks like... I have no idea. Tommy Gunn in Rocky 5.
Yeah.
That does look like Tommy Gunn.
But it's not really a big scent to this. Let's give it a go.
Coffee.
That one has a little more coffee taste than the first one. It's not over the top. It has that light coffee flavor, but I actually like this one too.
I love it.
I mean, Ben got me into sours, and now Chuck's getting me into porters from a certain brewery. Darks and porters.
You just got to find the right brewery.
I do get...
There it is. There it is. There's that subtle vanilla hit in the back.
The vanilla, it does have a lot more vanilla, but the initial coffee just turns me off. It's not you. It's not the brewery.
It's Tony.
It's me.
It's just Tony.
It's my,
It's not you, it's me?
Yeah, it's not you.
You
It's
see,
me.
I'm not a
boy,
big
if I had a
coffee
nickel for
drinker
every
at
time
all,
I heard
but
that one.
Then we're gonna donate that to you.
Well,
you like it anyways.
Ben's my garbage disposal when it
no,
comes to.
I'm the designated drinker, so
Yeah, he's a
don't drink
designated-
and drive.
I will be driving.
You know, every time you pour it into Ben's glass, it just reminds me of the Infinity incident. Ben just taking everything and like, let's see what we can do.
But Ben didn't finish that.
You know, I just met you, Ben, but I like you.
Matt Sprague actually drank almost the whole glass.
Chugged
I didn't want to. I thought we were just gonna sample the whole thing, so I just was like
We
gingerly.
all
I
took
pour
like a nice
my
mouthful
drink.
and sampled it, and as soon as it came to Matt housed it.
And Ben was like,
It was a good episode. Put it that way. That was fun.
do you guys do comedy here at all with them? With Matt, Sarah?
Oh, yeah. We had Cheesefoot did a comedy showcase. He put it together. And it was fantastic. DJ Guardian, Angel, he's putting, this will be the second one he did. It's a comedy poetry showcase called Something for the Soul. He did the last one about 2 months ago. This one is going to be, I believe, Saturday, September 14th. Something for the Soul Part 2.
And how was the turnout for that?
Comedy, poetry, music. Turnout was great. Every table was filled. And the thing is, there were a lot of people who came in from out of town who were here for the first time. And a lot of my regulars who, when I tell them we're having a comedy poetry showcase, that's not something that, goes off and you say to yourself, oh, wow, that sounds like something I really am going to be interested in. But I promise everyone that walked out at the end of the night, they were all coming at me saying that it was one of the most amazing things they'd ever been a part of. Because it's different. And one thing that I like to bring here to Strikers is different.
So this is, once again, this is not something I'm saying just because we're on camera, because this is something I've said even when you weren't on camera when we were talking about this venue. And I actually brought this to your attention the night we were talking about setting this up. I'm very close, and I talk to a lot of the local bands in the area. Obviously, we're throwing our Skookstock show. But every band I've talked to enjoys playing at Strikers for one or two reasons. You're a bar owner and a bar who promotes just as much the show.
Not an owner, just a manager.
Bar manager and someone who takes pride
I don't even
in
own my car.
Yeah, who takes just as much pride in with the bar you manage as much as you do with the band that's going to show up that night. You promote the show just as much as the band's going to promote the show, and you actually you take. Yeah, well, that one day is the only day
Yeah.
where I caught you off. But no, you take it seriously, man. And
Thank you.
and this venue is really good. Like, we're in the back area where the bands would play, and what you're seeing is where you would hang out and see the bands. And the cool thing is like this place. I mean, the only downside is if like the one night when Faith was here, there was no room.
Oh yeah.
Like, so if you're gonna come see a show at Strikers, I recommend coming early because it can fill up very, very quickly. But the thing is that it's a personable show. You can get right up front with the band and enjoy yourself. There's no barrier between you and the band. You're not up on a high stage where you can't feel like you're interacting with the band. And every band loves that aspect where they feel like they're on the floor with the people. They have a good time with the people. And like I said, they enjoy playing here.
I mean, when I took the manager job, the one thing that I said was, there's a lot of goodwill for this bar. A lot of people remember it as the place that they had the best time of their life. I
This,
mean, people
but when
my
this
age,
place
I mean,
first opened, this was the place to be.
it was absolutely.
Inside, outside in the summer, they had they still have horseshoes.
Yep.
The outside patio is nice.
Every other Friday we have a horseshoe tournament.
The one thing I can always say about this place is no matter what time you come here, when you come in here, the food is always fantastic to pair with your beer.
And,
Yes.
And the service. I'm very proud of our bar staff. Cody's right back there setting up. I didn't tell him that we were doing this, so
What's up, brother?
sorry, Cody.
I think
saw
it's a
him
good
last
thing.
night.
I think it's a good thing we don't have Cody on the show.
You know what?
Yeah, but like I've seen I've seen Look Alive here. We did the podcast with Faith in Exile, the reunion show that was here. That was packed. I seen which would turn out to be the last Cyanide Sunrise show here in November.
Cyanide Sunrise, Among the Heroes, Faith in Exile, Dead
Crowbot?
Leaves, Crowbot are just some of the names of the bands that have come through this bar that made this bar what it was. And it'd be nice to see this bar come back to prominence as to being that hot spot. I remember when Faith in Exile used to come in here, and you knew this from a fact playing with Among the Heroes opening for them, that this place was going to be 250 people maxed out to the nut in the butt.
Oh, yeah.
And they used to. This is before it was even probably Strikers. I don't know. I could be wrong, but didn't you guys used to set a trailer up out here and have outbound the Battle of the Bands?
That is something that was done in the past. Something we'd love to bring back. Hopefully for next summer.
That was
Live
touchy though,
on the
because
lanes. How about live on the lanes?
Live on the
Remember
Lanes
that?
was
Rocking
fun.
on the Lanes was
that?
good, but
Oh,
it just
yeah.
kept damaging the lanes. I'd love to do Rocking on the Lanes again, but I don't want to cause any more damage at a bowling alley. I mean, even with all the carpet we put down, somehow, someway, somebody found a way to jack up a lane.
Really?
And like,
There's some logistics to figure out.
Yeah.
and I mean, it kind of hurts the bowling alley a little bit because we're taking up about 6 lanes.
Oh no,
to
they
settle the
do
equipment up.
fine.
Yeah.
Because you rent the lanes out.
Right.
So if
And
you
Rocking
want-
on the Lanes was one of the only times here where you can literally rent your lane all night for one price because of the event.
Yeah. I remember I seen a couple bands that way too.
What was it, $50 all night for your lane, and then all you got to do is buy your drinks. So you get 4 people splitting $50 at $12.50 a person. I
Yeah,
mean,
you don't.
Deer in the headlights. I don't
Yeah.
remember. I was playing on the stage. I didn't.
well,
work
I
that
was
night.
in and out between helping and bowling with friends
Yeah.
because we rented a lane. It was just one of those nights where it's like, this was just a great night.
I was
Yeah.
just stoked to be playing.
What do we got next?
I
Any
think we've got
chance of an
one.
Among the Heroes reunion?
Nah. But
So I think what you're going
Terry
to look
is
for is you're going to look for the
music,
2
Tugger's
stouts.
music and better than ever.
And not to mention Dr.
I know we have
Booze
that
is
one,
on
yeah.
the other side of the state.
Dr. Booze is in Pittsburgh having
Will.
Another
a
child.
family life. Yep. What do we got there?
IPA, EYEPA.
IPA.
This is this
Imperial.
beer. Let me tell you, this beer is the reason
So-
I missed all of the fireworks on the 4th of July. I got it confused
Ben,
with
you
the
wanna
two
get these?
shots.
You want to get these 2 on deck?
Yeah, that's
For
what
the
I'm doing
record
right
there,
now.
Tony, I did give the Thrilla and Vanilla a 4.
Wow.
And that's uncanny of me on a dark
The
beer.
vanilla on the end was very tasty, but the initial coffee, it just gets me. It grosses me out. The beer, I mean, it's a quality beer. It's smooth. It tastes, but the initial coffee just is a turn off for me.
What do we have here, Chuck?
Wilma's Wandering IPA, EYE.
PA. What's going on today at Strikers? Anything?
Yep, we've got Brad and Tyler Vidal playing acoustic out on the patio, weather permitting. We're gonna have cornhole, horseshoes set up out there.
I played in a cornhole tournament last time I was here, and I came 1 game away from the championship, and it was my first time playing cornhole.
That's because I wasn't playing.
I'm pretty decent at it.
I am not.
I am still a reigning defending champion down at Woody's with Timmy Snyder.
Oh yeah.
Nobody has been able to
This is
unseat us in
one-on-one.
cornhole.
This is one-on-one.
We,
One-on-one with
we
the
are a
girl.
team. Timmy and I were a very good, very formidable team.
Me and Nikolai are pretty good.
Holy shit!
What?
Yeah, I was waiting for that.
Wilma's Wandering IPA Double Barley Brewing IPA Imperial Double 13.5%.
Soon I took a
I
sip
was
of it.
waiting.
93 IBUs, checked in almost a little over 3,500 times at a 384.
This is my beer right here. this is my all
I
day.
was waiting for you to read that.
Here's
and
the
waiting for that
details.
reaction.
A very drinkable Imperial IPA, pronounced but nicely balanced hop profile. A very light-bodied and light-colored IPA with subtle notes of orange blossom honey. Be careful, she's a sneaky one.
Yeah, I missed
so
all of the fireworks on the 4th of July because of this beer.
yeah.
Because I got it confused with the Touche, thinking I'm drinking a 6 point something and I'm drinking a 13.
So that does initially have the boozy taste when you hit it.
You can smell the orange. The smell is fantastic.
Yeah, it's got a boozy taste to it. This will ruin your night if you're not careful.
Chuck, I hate you.
Right.
This is already. This is in the force for me.
Wow. Wow. If I didn't read that and I'd never would have known that was 13%. You wouldn't
The
know.
only other beer that was this almost this high that we still say to this day that like took the cake. I wish I would have rated it higher. Was Devil Hop.
Yeah, Devil's Hop Yard.
Devil's Hop.
Devil's
Yard.
Hop Yard was an 8.6%. We got it from the keg stand in Monte City. And if he never would have said it was an 8.6,
I think it was
I would've-
higher than that, wasn't it?
it was 8.6.
Was it? It was
Poor
strong.
Pitiful Me was higher, and it earned every bit of that, like 12% it was, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But it was so hoppy, it was almost unbearable.
Mm-hmm.
And usually I don't say that about beers, but it was almost unbearable.
I liked it.
But if you know that Poor Pitiful Me, or I'm sorry, Devil's Hop Yard was an 8.6. If you would have handed it to me and said, "Here, try this," and I never knew, you could have told me it was like 6%, and I'd been like, "Oh, okay, that I can see it."
Yeah, this one doesn't have like that 13%, that bite doesn't come through on it.
Hence
And I
why
think-
it says on the end of the
Careful,
thing,
she's a
"Be
sneaky
careful,
one."
she's
Yeah.
a sneaky
Uh-huh.
one."
Yeah.
So
the initial
you can see how
taste.
easy it would be.
The
for me
initial
to think
taste
that
is
this was-
very boozy, but it's still
Yeah,
very
oh, yeah.
smooth.
For 13%, I could probably drink this all night. And
I would
that's-
try.
I'd try.
I'd give it a shot.
It's slightly malty, but then afterwards it has a really strong, like maybe orange citrus back end to
Well,
it.
it's funny that you say that because the guide details that they list are sweet, hoppy, smooth, strong, and malty.
There you go. Nailed it. Now, the last thing I want to do, because since we're plugging away at Strikers here, so we came in, we had our meeting, our band, or the meeting here with the bands for Skookstock, and I came early,
And a badass taco bar.
yeah, and you hooked us up with a taco bar. I didn't get to try in the taco bar because before I got here, I had the double burger, the double bacon burger.
Oh yeah, the
Holy
Strikers
sh-
double,
Holy shit!
and that was on happy hour, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So
a half price double cheeseburger.
I don't want
with
this to come
bacon.
off as a disrespect, but when I came in, I was like, all right, it's bowling alley food, right? So I was like, it's gonna be good, but it's not gonna blow me away. I'm just gonna get a burger and call it a day. It was so good that the next Friday, me and my wife were like, oh, what do you want to do tonight? I'm like, let's go back to Strikers and get food. I had a burger there that was phenomenal. She got the nachos, and I got the burger.
Of course, she got the nachos.
Yeah. The only complaint was she's not a smoker, so it was hard for her to enjoy her food with the smoking.
Understandable.
Yeah. But food wise, I'm telling you, this place is definitely going to shock you. If you're coming in with the expectation that you're just getting
Bar food
or bowling alley food, you're gonna be strongly surprised.
And I will tell anybody that comes in here, and I said it to Robin Beaner on the Faith and Exile show night, to get the chicken Mexican ranch wrap.
Yeah.
I will
Oh,
vouch
yeah.
for that through and through till the day I die here.
Well, I am very excited since he brought it up. I wasn't going to bring it up,
Yeah.
Yeah,
We-
that's how I feel about that.
but we have got new menus coming for the end of the summer. New items, fried pickles, I know is one of them. So the burgers are going to do more of a build your own burger kind of structure. So that means new toppings, new bread options,
Did you ever think about doing what Wheel did, opening it up to the public?
What do you mean?
Wheel took their grilled cheese and they put a thing there at the table, and they would let you pick the next sandwich. So they took the fan submissions and turned it into the next sandwich. So take the people who come in here and let them like get a list drawn up, like how Wheel has their menu, and just check off what you would like on a burger.
It's
let the customers pick the next burger.
It kind of sounds like what we're doing with the wing sauces. We're kind of putting it out there for the wing sauces. What's going to be on the permanent menu and what's going to be on our rotating
I have a
features.
guy you can contact if you want some cool wing sauces.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's got a mango habanero that's so badass, it's unreal.
Oh, I want to make.
So I am not a hot sauce guy. His are hot.
But they're so much flavor.
They're not gonna kick your ass that they're hot. Like you can still enjoy a dozen wings.
Didn't you do a
podcast?
You did
with
a
him.
podcast.
Hotheads hot sauce.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I'll definitely. I'll give
I
it a whirl.
had 11 of his sauces. A few of them were not released yet. Like he's working on a peach one, a strawberry one, a chocolate one. I would eat them all on wings. Maybe the one sauce is
chocolate one.
Yeah, chocolate.
It's a
hot
chocolate.
Sauce.
No,
way.
it's a chocolate Reaper. He does a chocolate Reaper.
Wow.
He does a chocolate Reaper and he does a strawberry Reaper. I tried them both at Brewfest. The chocolate Reaper was very good. It had a lot of great flavor. It didn't hit you in the mouth. It hit you on the afterburn coming back up. But the strawberry just,
So I have a strawberry Reaper, and then I have a strawberry. There's two strawberries, strawberry habanero, and a strawberry
You're
Reaper.
going all off on this one.
Yeah. So I can definitely get in contact with him if you want to put some of his sauces on deck here too. They're tasty.
I'm telling you this much.
try anything twice.
The Hawaiian pineapple one is amazing.
Oh, the Fresno pineapple.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
I'm
Hawaiian
telling you
Express.
this much. It has that Fresno pineapple had that nice color. But if you're looking for sauces that aren't going to kick your ass, that you say have a
just
bite
tasty.
and they taste, this is the guy you want to talk to.
Focuses. He
Taste
focuses
is
on the
key.
taste
Yeah.
more than he focuses on the heat.
Yeah.
He's not trying to be like Fear Factor you where like I'm going to kill you with my heat. He's like it's hot.
See, because what's the fun in that?
Yeah.
I honestly, and
You want to enjoy the
it
meal.
kind of circles back to
And I believe he does.
when I was saying
does
about
he do
IPAs,
salsa
you
too?
know? We're all coming
No,
back full
that was
circle.
gumbo.
No. I could have swore he said he does a salsa when we're talking to Brewfest.
I don't
He
know.
might do a salsa too, so you could do that for your nachos.
He has a sauce. A hot sauce that's more on the tomato sauce, like a tomato.
Okay.
And that would be like that to me. That maybe not a wing sauce, but it's more on the
If you do like a chicken parm, you could use it
yeah.
as a
Like
glaze.
it would anything you could mix it with a red sauce. Like you could put on pizza. You could put it on, a burger.
Like that.
Yeah, it would be really good for that.
I was so bummed out that I didn't see it.
Another good food item that you should maybe think about doing here. It's one of my favorite cheesesteaks on the planet to get. You maybe already do. A1 cheesesteaks, where you cook the meat with A1 sauce and then throw the cheese on it and call it a day.
No shit.
It's fucking awesome.
I never heard of that.
An
See,
A1
this is
cheesesteak.
this is
Who's
the
in the
kind of
kitchen today?
this is the kind of knowledge you need from friends that know people that know weird recipes, because it's the weirder the food sounds.
So I always say to
chances
somebody,
are the better it tastes.
I say something like, "Do you have A1 steak sauce back there?" And they
do.
said, "Yes." I said, "Can you put a couple dabs on the meat while you're cooking it?" And they're like, "Why?" I'm like, "Cook the meat when you're making the cheesesteak with the A1 sauce." I said, "Some people don't like doing it because it leaves a little more of a mess on the grill. They got to clean it up a little bit more. But you put a couple you cook it with the A1 sauce, throw it on the bun, throw a couple slices of cheeses on it, serve it out. It's unbelievable."
Now, here's a great question for you. Considering
like
you've been up and
peppers-
down the rods for 3 years with Crowbot, what was your favorite food stop? Not major name brand, but small mom and pop shop.
Get those two ready.
Oh man.
So hand me the Abbey. Get me an Abbey, and I'll take a sip out of your glass because it's double coffee, so it's not going to do
It's
much.
really hard.
Abbey wasn't coffee.
It's hard for me to say.
I just want to partake with something, so I'm going to drink an Abbey while you guys do the double.
So what we're doing here is mixing half of the steak cake stout, half of the Filler and vanilla
We're
porter.
cuving like we
Basically,
did.
they're black and tan.
Alrighty.
Favorite food
Black
stop,
and black.
man.
There had to be like a
Beef
Mexican joint or maybe a burger shack that you guys stopped at that just blew you away.
It was in North Carolina, and the only reason I'm struggling is I don't remember the name of it now. It was some kind of like omelet shop.
Omelet
but
shop.
it was the best breakfast spot. Big, fat omelets. I mean, seriously, like they would stand on the plate 2 inches high. I mean, that's how fat your omelet was.
So we are going to have Crowbot headlining the show for Skook Stock.
You were a little heavy on the other bottle.
If someone has never seen Crowbot, doesn't know Crowbot, they're going to come on and watch the show, and what are they expecting?
Energy. Expect to dance, because whether you are the whitest guy with the whitest sense of rhythm, that music is going to move you, it's going to groove you, and it's going to make you shake your ass.
And Crowbot calls himself Dirty Groove Music for a reason.
Dirty Groove rock.
They branded their own music that way.
They did. They came up. They came up with
And
the best words.
the best thing about Crowbot is if you would try to label them as a certain style or against a certain band, you can't.
No, I always found that they were very.
Unique.
They were their own.
Yeah.
Their own sound.
You cannot compare Crowbot to any other band out there right now.
If Crowbot came up in the 70s,
Fuck that. I'm glad they came up today.
I'm
'cause
just
now they
saying.
can change the game.
could you imagine if they were in that era though?
Now they can change the game.
They would have fit in perfect. Like this, maybe I'm just being biased because I'm a huge fan of them and their music. But they like when people, I'm like, do you like Zeppelin? They're like, yeah. I'm like, do you like Soundgarden? Do you like Wolfmother? Do you like? They're like, yeah. But do you like that really classic, dirty, grungy style rock and roll? They're like, yeah. I'm like, listen to Crowbot.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a good time.
Now, you've been to Europe with them prior, correct?
Yeah.
What was that experience like?
Because Europe loves them some Crowbot.
I went with them twice. The first trip I don't remember all that well, and I'll leave it to Bishop or Brando to tell that story.
This one night?
The one night and the morning after. The second time was the boys were opening for Volbeat, so it was like 14 or 15 different countries in continental Europe, opening for Volbeat in small arenas, so 8,000, 9,000, 10,000 people.
A nice size
It
arena.
was phenomenal, but truthfully, being the first band on a bill like that, you go in.
Not too many
It's a
people.
lot of hurry
really-
up. It's a lot of hurry up and wait.
Right.
Because you go in, you get there early, you set up your gear, you wait for the doors to open, you wait for your chance to play, you play your set 30 minutes, and then you have to wait
Until everybody else is done.
Everyone else is done. So you know what? A lot of those nights turn into dance parties. Crowbot is always going to be the band that other bands, other crews, they're going to want to hang out with.
Yeah.
They are the guys that are going to be playing music from someone's phone, and if they have a speaker, great. If not, they're still going to be playing music. They're going to be hanging out backstage. They're going to be dancing. They're going to be drinking, and that's on the arenas. If not, they're going to be out mingling. They're going to be mingling in the crowd.
The first
Yes.
trip to Europe, you were on with them, correct?
No.
No.
Nope.
Second.
Actually, the first trip that they did to Europe, I think, was opening for Black Label, and that's when I was working for 10 years.
Right.
So,
When I follow them a lot when they do their stuff on the road and stuff. And the biggest thing, whether they're in America, they're in Europe, they're in Canada, you hear this is reviews that you hear from bands, and this is a review you hear from fans. If you're a Crowbot fan, they're not the band that you're never going to meet. You don't have to pay for a meet and greet because they will come out and be personable and talk to you at their merch table.
Or Chuck will try and give you his best. I'll give you 2 for 1 on this if you pay this price and still pay almost full price for what it is.
only if you're a celebrity or if you own the label.
Yeah.
I did the same thing to the guy who.
Would you like to tell the McLovin story?
No.
No. So anyway, and another thing about the band too is a lot of bands. This is not a knock, but a lot of bands, that they have the backtracking, they have this, they have that. Crowbot, they literally walk up, they plug in, and they play.
Yep.
And they're very old school in that method, where they're like, we're just what you're hearing out of this. What you hear on CD is exactly what you're going to hear when you show up at the arena that night. The only difference is, in my opinion, I think Brandon sounds better live than he does on CD. I think Brandon's voice is so powerful.
I agree with you when you say that, because I've heard Crowbot CDs and I've heard Brandon live, and I don't think auto-tune does his voice justice at all.
Well, I don't think they don't really put much. They don't
When
put it
they
on
tune
him.
the music to the CD, it doesn't do Crowbot justice at all.
No, I think it sounds great on CD, but I think
I don't
Oh,
I
you
think
mean
they-
like the
I don't think
like mastering the sound?
When they master it, it does
like
not
in
do
studio.
Crowbot justice.
That's what you're trying to say.
I just think that
I think
can't-
music in general just sounds
Yes.
better live.
Yes.
because
You can't
there's
replicate the energy.
There's an energy. There's a feel.
Yes.
There's an aura that surrounds the stage when a band is up there, and that's what great bands have. It's in the moment.
Yep.
It's that kind of, you have to go out of your way to go to a concert, and it makes it special. That in itself. Whereas now
We're bringing the concert to the people.
Music is so convenient.
In a way,
now.
we're still making it a 30-minute drive that people are upset
We're
about.
still bringing the music to the people.
But
This thing right here can play any song recorded across space and time throughout the entirety of human existence. And what is special about that?
Nothing.
Not a damn thing. You go out to a concert, you see the sweat pouring off of someone like Bishop's head, corroding the fucking strings on the guitar, which is why they break all the goddamn time. You know,
Yeah, they're
you
not-
see the hair moving, you see the expression, you know, the look.
You see people
the look-
bopping to the
look
music.
on their face,
I-
the look
I-
on the crowd's face.
I
There's
read
one thing you
awesome.
cannot
That's
deny
the
about a
magic.
Crowbot show is that if you look out into the crowd, it doesn't matter where it is, everybody bops. Even if they're not that into it,
So here,
they
I-
bop
I
at
have
some
I have
point.
a funny story. So they played at is it the Chameleon Club?
Yes.
When they played with the main band was All the Damn Things. All the Damn Things.
The damn things.
And then it was Crowbot. Then it was He Is Legend, which is awesome, by the way. They're awesome. And then it was, like, I guess, a local band. So there was this two girls up in the front row. This girl was this the whole night. If you can't see visually. She just had this scowl on her face. And she was not impressed by anything. She did not give a shit. She was there with her friend who was rocking a Fall Out Boy shirt, and all she wanted to see was the damn things. And she was not there for anything else. She got there early. She stood in the front. She was only there for one band, and the rest of them could have sucked her dick. You know what I mean? So the first band comes out, and then when, like, people clap, she did the whole, like,
One of those.
the golf clap.
One of
I wasn't
those.
there at that show, but I've definitely seen that
Right.
bitch 1,000 times.
Right? So let me hear me out. He Is Legend comes out. He Is Legend's very animated. You
Yeah.
get into it. She's golf clapped. I was impressed with He Is Legend. I didn't realize that, like, I'm a fan of them. Then Crowbot comes out. Brandon comes out with the headdress, the Indian headdress, and starts doing his dance. And I got a banana in my pocket, and it's for you. And he, like, he pulls the banana out, and the shaker, and they just do their thing. And this lady went from this to smiling and, like, into this. And I was talking to Rob Hampton, I was talking to Tyler Smar, I was talking to Andy Hare. And I was like, yo, I'm watching this lady and she's not having a good time. She's only here. And then I was like, they got her. All of us were like, oh my God, Crowbot converted this woman. Like, like she had a blast with Crowbot. But that's the energy they bring you, man. Like, first time I ever seen them was at Goodfellas. And it was, talk about a lineup. Headliner was Cyanide, and they were debuting the Hourglass video. Then behind that was Crowbot. Then it was Faith in Exile, and then it was Ghost County, which was now, if you want to break it down, it's Joey Tunes, Tyler Smar, and Maymod and Garganos, which is with I guess the Mekas brothers. So that was like that band at the time.
Gargons.
Gargons. So you have Gargons, Bad Maggie, the Firecrackers was pretty much one band, and then Joey Tunes is always an acoustic thing, which one band. That was that band at the time.
I was there.
Yeah. So they come out, they do a
That
great
was a good
job.
show.
Yeah, they came out, they opened up, awesome time. Faith in Exile, fucking killed it. Crowbot came out, as soon as Brennan hit that first note, and he screamed it, the whole place just stopped and turned their head.
Uh-huh.
And then he had them. And then obviously Jay Bird and Cyanide went out and just tore the house off. Like, whatever was left of the roof was now
Yeah.
gone.
It's a very special day. I remember that one.
They see, I met Chuck all the way back in high school. Me and Chuck have known each other for a little over 13 years now. We have stories.
He doesn't want to admit that.
No. But we have stories that go back from school to the
Shows my
Rollers.
resilience. I've been dealing with this guy for 13 years.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for you.
Yeah, we've got stories from school.
Fucking
We've got
burn.
stories. We got stories from the Rollers. We got stories from shows. But Chuck has been in some of the more influential local bands that have If they were still together today, probably.
Plural, I think I can only think of one.
You were in Among the Heroes, and you did a little bit with Kiss the Sky, didn't you?
No.
No?
No, I was just
13
I
years.
was just a fan.
You just botched it.
That's all right. I mean,
I thought he filled in once in a while.
they let me sing a song or two once once
That's
in
like
a
when
while.
people say I'm in the boys upstairs. Like, no, I'm not. I go up and I rap once or twice a year.
But
Thank you.
But granted, if Chuck was still in that band, if Terry James and Pudge and whoever the drummer was at the time, there was Mike Morton, there was Eric Valinsky, there was a few drummers.
Eric Valinsky, I heard that
Among the
name.
Heroes should be on Skookstock if they were still together today. That is one band that I would not have left off the card. Because
Maybe next
they're
year?
right up there with Crowbot. They have that energy. They get the crowd into it. And you've seen Terry play live before. You have not seen
Terry's
Terry in
phenomenal.
a rock band. Terry in a rock band is a complete 180 from him sitting there and playing the piano. Terry Miller can draw a crowd. Terry Miller can get a crowd moving.
Terry Miller has, in my opinion, the most powerful and strongest voice we've ever seen in Schuylkill County.
Agreed.
Yes.
And that's saying a lot because we have Brandon from Crowbot here.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I remember my
Terry's-
first Crowbot show.
Terry's powerful.
Do you really remember
Terry
your
is
first Crowbot show?
Actually, I do.
I do.
It was at Trip and Billy. Like,
Trip and Billy
when I used to
opening
work
for
at
Faith and
Advance
Exile.
Auto, like, they gave me a good schedule. It was like Monday through Thursday. And I was like, all right, well, Thursday is going to be a fucking drinking day. And so there's a couple times where they played. I actually got to talk to Brandon. I liked Brandon, definitely. Oh, my God. Those guys are really cool. The one night I actually bought a Crowbot shirt that same day. It's like a yellow one. It was like all wild. I fucking lost it. I'm so
Yellow one with
salty
the-
about
The
it.
yellow one with the crow's
With the
face,
crow.
and the mouth is open. It's like drool.
Yeah.
I still have mine.
I have two of them.
Yeah,
When Crowbot first came out,
I
usually
got-
with a brand new band, people are skeptical. They don't know what to expect. When Crowbot first started and they went out there and Brandon hit that first high note when they would open up with Let Me In or Legend of the Space Point Killer, the whole crowd, it didn't matter if you liked them or not, moved. That band knows how to move that crowd left to right and get them grooving.
So here's a cool thing about that show we were talking about. That show, the only people who went up to the front of the stage if you were there for that band. So Faith and Exile at the time had maybe 15 people that went up to the front of the stage and enjoyed the show. Most people were there for Cyanide. Not many people were there for Crowbot. Let's be honest, they really weren't because they
I
were still
remember.
coming out.
Yep.
But as soon as now, it's different with the music scene now, where if you go see a show, 9 times out of 10, most of the other local bands that aren't playing that night are going to go to the show and support that band, and they'll be the first ones in the front to bring the rest of the crowd to saying, "Hey, it's cool to come up here." They didn't always have that respect for one another back in the day.
It was a different kind of competition back then
Yeah.
because
Everybody's competing for the same spot on the same show.
and the same spot was everyone wanted to be king of the mountain, but the mountain we didn't have a big idea of what the mountain could be.
Yes.
And
And
10
then,
years
and
ago,
then Crowbot came in and showed the other bands like
this is what the top of the mountain looks
we're
like.
not here trying to fight with each other to be the kings of Schuylkill County. Let's go out, band together, and go out and fight the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Out there
And if
is
I
the
had
real
a,
enemy.
Yeah.
if I had
Not
a
each
place
other.
at 10 years
Crowbot
ago,
and Cyanide and Faith always had the respect of each other, where they showed each other that support, but also had that friendly competition where they always tried to one up each other. And what it did is it made each other band to improve more in a friendly environment where it wasn't cutthroat and they didn't hate each other.
now 10 years ago, I'm sure Chuck can agree with me. The top of the mountain around here was Faith and Exile, Cyanide Sunrise, Among the Heroes, Pale Harvest.
It's a pretty good Mount Rushmore.
That was like the Mount Rushmore of who's headlining what show in Pottsville every weekend.
But it was all relative.
Yeah. But when it came down to it and the Battle of the Bands started kicking off and everybody wanted that spot on the Mayhem Fest or the Uproar Festival, you had your Pale Harvest with Cody Vital, you had your Faith and Exile, you had your Cyanide Sunrise. All three of those bands were always killing it at these Battle of the Bands. But you always saw Cyanide Sunrise because they would drag their friends and their fans. Faith and Exile ran a bus to Allentown with 80 people on it, more than what should ever be on a school bus, to a show just to make sure that their friends got to help them live their dream.
Yeah.
Among the Heroes had 100, 200 people crammed into the downstairs of Muslims one of the smallest bars in New Philly had 200 people
There's
stuffed
more than
in
one
it.
bar in New Philly.
I didn't even know.
Well, there's the vets, but you're not getting 200
But what you're
people
getting
there.
at is
Nah.
is these bands are working their asses off to do this and fulfill their dreams and take that next step and get that exposure and keep working towards it. And the only way that happens is with support. If people didn't jump on that bus and say, I'm going to go see Faith in Exile, if people didn't jump on the bus and say, I'm going to go see Cyanide Sunrise, if a woman from Pottsville didn't video record Crowbot at a show one night and send it to a record label, you know what I mean? It all comes down to it's us as people. We can sit here and say how much we love a band all day long, and you can be, man, I really love that band. My thing is, if you're willing to drive an hour and a half to go see a concert that you really like, you got to see I Prevail.
I went to see I Prevail. I drove an hour.
And that's the thing. Like, people say, "Well, I shouldn't have to drive an hour to see a local band that I support." I think that's bullshit. I think that's a terrible excuse. If Look Alive told me tomorrow, "Hey, we're doing a pretty big show and we're going to be in Allentown. We need people to show up," you're damn right. As a community, if you support that band, we should be there. Like, just like Skookstock, like if it's 35-40 minutes away, if you really enjoy those bands and you enjoy Crowbot, come see it. It's going to be a great time.
35-40 minutes away from what? From nothing?
From here.
Yeah.
That's nothing.
Exactly.
For a band that's over in Europe right now?
Exactly.
That's nothing.
A band that's going to come out and melt your face off.
Look, I'm sorry, maybe I shouldn't be saying this, but you have that much talent on one bill?
That's crazy.
Get in your car and drive 30 minutes. Because when else is that going to happen?
Exactly.
Who's
Except
to
for
say the next time you're going to
here
see
at
Crowbot
Strikers
play a
in the
local
parking
show?
lot.
Crowbot playing local shows as a band is few and far between anymore,
As a full
especially
band.
in the Pottsville
As a
area.
full band.
Yeah.
And I can't speak much to that business. I mean, I'm not, I don't work for the guys
Anymore.
So, I can only say so much. But I can say, as a fan, go out and support every band that comes out.
100%.
Come out to support Brad and Tyler Vidal, who are playing today, and Fallen Pride. Come out and support. Last night we had No Rain Checks and Look Alive. John Lesko and company playing acoustic.
And even going back to
Look
when we
Alive
were
right
kids,
there.
we would beg our parents, take us
Because-
down to the roller roost. I
Listen,
want to go see this show.
What happens when you don't support local music is it goes away.
Yep. And then you cry
You
that we
wanna
don't
know
have
why?
any.
You want to know why
It's
Crowbot
so
couldn't play
we have nothing.
locally for
We
a
have
while
nothing going on
because
the
it didn't
weekends.
The music
support it.
scene was dead.
The people weren't going out to shows. You have to go. If you're going to be in a band, you got to go where people are playing. If you want to have a local music scene, come on out, fight for it, support it.
10 years
Play.
ago at the Rollers, you had Johnny K doing sound. You had Eddie Collins and Now the City. You had you had a Faith in Exile. You had a Cyanide Sunrise. And anybody that's grown up in School County has gone to the Rollers at least once in their lifetime. We had over 500 people in the Roller Roost on the rink to watch 4 bands.
Yeah.
That's when the music scene was the biggest it has ever been.
And I'm going to tell you right now, our music scene is so talented right now. It's so good.
And it don't
Because
matter
what are
if
the
you're an
alternatives?
original
You
band
can
or
work
a cover
you
band.
can work in a warehouse, work in a coal mine, or you can play music.
Yep.
If you're an original band, you're a cover band, it doesn't matter.
You
Go
play
out
it.
and check them out. It
Play
doesn't
music,
matter
make people
anymore.
happy.
So we'll end with this. So if you want to see, because we ended a nice little segue there for Skookstock.
Yeah,
Next week we are.
I was going to
do-
ask, what did you guys think of the beer?
Oh yeah, what did you think of the cuvee?
This is the vanilla cake. So
Vanilla cake.
I
do
think
you even
Yeah,
remember?
it just-
I think we were
it's just
drinking
a-
and talking at that point.
Yeah.
It's just a dark beer that I get a vanilla kick to. It's not really that spectacular. I
the
like them
vanilla's
both.
still-
I like them
vanilla
both
shines.
separately.
Personally, I thought it just tasted like a regular beer to me because we did a cuvee before we did a peanut butter Dunkle, and then we also did a strawberry one then too.
Yeah.
And no joke, it tasted like a fucking Coors Light. It was nuts.
We took a beer that literally tasted like you were scooping peanut butter and putting it right in your mouth, and took one where it literally like you put strawberries and put it in your mouth. I was like, yo, if we mix these two beers together, this is gonna be tasty. We put it together, it literally tasted like the peanut butter and strawberry canceled
Coors
each other.
Light.
It canceled each other out.
A Coors Light.
It tasted like a regular Coors, like it tasted like a Miller Lite. It was crazy. But the last thing I want to bring up real quick
But no,
is
still in all, these two separately,
Yeah.
a much better beer than put together.
Oh, definitely, 100%. Yeah.
But the last thing I want to talk about with the local music scene is our show definitely has Apollo 88, up and coming band, awesome. Definitely gotta get them in here. Japan 4, which is now not under the Trip and Billy moniker anymore, where you can actually go see them and not have to see them in one venue. Then we have Bad Maggie, who
Tears the roof off any place they go into.
so much fun.
That band is a party in a can.
Yes.
That band is a party in a can.
And not to mention-
open it up, step back because it's gonna blow.
And not to mention, Bad Maggie will buy a bottle of your liquor, say pour them in the shot glasses, and give them to everybody in here.
Yes.
Not even use the
Ask Tony. Ask Tony what happened with the fireball.
We won't talk about that.
We're gonna talk about that
when we
because Tony
when
learned his
we
lesson on
Cinco de
fireball.
He
Mayo.
got
We had
fucking
Cinco de
sloppy.
Mayo.
He got fucking
we were at
sloppy.
the Roundhouse, and they had a thing of fireball going around, and I was being the gentleman, and I was giving everyone the drinks around me, and I was like, "Oh, there's no more drinks left," and she goes, "Well, there is one." And I went to grab it, and when I went to grab it, I spilled it, and she goes, "Don't worry, there's about 15 shots spilled in this tray." So I literally got down on my knees, took the tray, and chugged it. And it went all over my face, all over my shirt.
And left liquor fly paper on the front of the stage then, too.
And then after I did it, it immediately grossed me out because I did about 15 shots in one sitting. It was so many shots. But anyway, yeah. It was bad. It was real bad. But that's a Bad Maggie show. And then we got the original bands. We have Mahatango, which is my personal favorite because I just love that style of music. Look Alive, which is awesome. Then you got Faith in Exile, who's like an OG in the area. And then we talked about Crowbot, who's headlining, but we didn't talk too much about this. So this is Faith's Got a Driver.
Yeah.
So if
I haven't gotten to listen to them, but I do love Randy.
So Randy's not a skook. He is a Luzerne boy. He is from the Hazelton side of things.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
He's still a skook at heart.
He has been in the skook's heart forever. So if you're in the local music scene, you don't know Randy, I don't know what's wrong with you. But Randy literally will get in his car and he'll jump on a plane and go to Detroit and go to Alaska and go to all these crazy places and just chase music. There's people that they build bands around people like Randy.
Yeah.
If you really want to break down to, where most at one point in time where you had your Andy Hares, who was a huge influence on a lot of people back in the day with his frontman style, but like Jaybird took a lot of his Jaybird from Randy.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Randy.
And Randy knows the business.
The
Yes.
backflips, the mic throws.
Not so much the backflips, but the mic throws and the crazy and the shirt pulls and the crazy
Randy
faces.
He really does have an instinct.
He does.
For the business, for
And
networking, for getting.
And he could be playing for 15 people or 15,000 people, and you're going to get the same person on stage every time.
Oh, most definitely.
He's going to. He's
I'm stoked that they're going to be on the bill.
He's
That's amazing.
He's Billy Joel turned to 11. He's, I mean, like the first time I seen him,
Yeah.
he reminds me of Billy Joel from Green Day. The first time I ever seen him ever. And then 10 years later, or 5 or 6 years later, I seen
Billy
Sinai.
Joel Armstrong?
Yes, Billy Joel from Green Day.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I thought he said Billy Joel at first.
Billy
Yeah,
Joel.
that's what he did, yeah.
I was nodding like I
Yes.
agreed, but I
What?
definitely also heard you say
Piano
Billy
Man.
Joel.
Did I?
I'm pretty sure he's
It's like
Billy
Piano
Joel.
Man. What the
Listen,
fuck?
my head right now is literally, I hear myself on echo because these headphones in my ears are just fucking killing me. But people who don't know, I have a blown out left eardrum, and this is hurting very bad. But yeah, Billy Joel Armstrong.
Okay. Yeah,
but-
that
yes.
I'll nod my head and
Yes.
actually
Yeah.
agree.
But then a couple years later, I see the first time I ever see Sinai Shredder, I was at that Goodfellas show, and I nudge my buddy, at the time, my cousin Brian Roach. I nudge Roach, and I go, Roach, that dude reminds me of that guy we went and seen that band. He goes, who? And I go, remember, because at the time, I only ever seen one local band, and it was Headplug, and that's what Randy was in, Headplug, with Bug from the original bass player of Breaking Ben.
Yeah.
I'm like, he reminds me of that Randy guy. And he goes, yeah, they're best friends. I was like, that makes a lot of sense. You know what I mean? Like, but Randy is going to be the co-headliner. And
Phenomenal.
this Faith's Got a Driver is a style of music, if you are a fan of, that you want it to come back, it is definitely coming back. With bands like Mahantango and bands like Faith's Got a Driver, that I call it sad boy music.
The pop punk scene.
The pop punk scene, like they don't like the pop punk. It's more of a thrasher. They call it like a thrash emo. I don't know. That might not even be the right term, but it's definitely something that it's like a 2005, 2000ish style of music. And the main thing about that is he's in a band now with Eddie Reyes, who is the last pretty much founding member of Taking Back Sunday, who's now no longer in Taking Back Sunday. Very proud of his roots with Taking Back Sunday, but now is in this band with Randy. So if you're a big Taking Back Sunday fan, you have an opportunity to see Eddie Reyes with a guy who, not from our local skook scene, but he's about as skook as it gets.
He's about
as skook as it gets. You'll see Randy
it's not where you were born, it's where your heart is.
And
we love you, Randy.
I guarantee.
And I just like to say this about Skook Stock. No matter how you look at it, no matter where we've come from and how we've grown up, there's one feeling that I'm getting from Skook Stock with the venue that's not going to change. And that Skook Stock is going to feel like one big ass bush party.
Yeah.
And everybody in Skook County has been to at least one of them, and I've
only been to one.
That's the feeling. That's the feeling I'm getting from Skook Stock.
It's bush parties.
It's going to be a big ass bush party.
It's a bush party with vendors. It's literally what it is.
I've been to one bush party. I drank 4 Locos and I tried to fight Andy Buziak. So.
Yes. And lo and behold, you're in a band with Dr. Booze a few years later.
No, that was. I was.
Oh, you were in the band with Dr. Booze.
Yeah, I didn't get invited to parties in high school. Are you kidding?
Yeah, not cool in high school.
Yeah, right. What's the deal with that podcast? You need like an expert opinion.
But anything else you guys wanted to talk about that we didn't talk about? Anything else at the Strikers Pub you want to bring up, or some events you got going on?
Good idea.
Oh,
first, do 10 beers, and you get a strike, you get a free beer. Just something
legally,
just
we have
kind
to
of
be
build
careful about
be
how much
elaborate.
free product we give out.
Yeah.
Right.
By the way, I'll be
build
over
up
with the 10.
do around the world in 80 beers, but do a 10, and then you get your strike the first
What if you
when you pay
what if
for your first 10
it'd probably
beers,
be
you get
easier
a
to
free
give a free
strike.
game of bowling out for every 10 beers.
Well,
You can do that too, yeah.
truthfully, if I get everything on my wish list and I get my second beer cooler, I could get 80 beers in there, and I would love to recreate a promotion.
Where
like
would
that.
you put the second cooler?
Oh, I'd put them side by side, move the jukebox.
The other side of the room.
By the way, my painting.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
I still heard that.
Yeah, I know, everyone did.
Well, I'm just.
yeah.
You got grilled cheese night, the 23rd.
Well, that's last week, I believe.
Yeah, and you know what?
Chicken
The way this is
BLT
going to air,
salad.
that'll probably all be over by the time it airs anyway. But
Let me tell you what we do have food-wise. Taco Tuesday on Tuesdays. We open at 4 o'clock. From 4 to 8, come in and get basically 3 tacos for $2.50. The regular price, they're $1.50 a piece.
with football season coming up, you're going to be doing Monday night things.
We're going to be doing Monday night things.
Now, come
Taco
Sunday-
Tuesday, we got margaritas that go with the tacos, and then starting this week, karaoke afterwards on
Again,
Tuesdays.
football on Sundays.
Tuesdays?
Are you guys going to be doing the $10 all-you-can-eat wings again?
I never heard of that.
When someone else was running the bar on Sunday.
Well, it's not his bar anymore. It's
Correct.
it's not
It
his.
is Chuck's bar now. But on Sundays, if you would come in for the Sunday ticket, they were doing $10 all-you-can-eat wings in monikers of 6, I believe.
I'll think about it.
I mean, $10 all you can eat on a 6. I mean, you're still going to draw people in here to watch football, and you're going to get your money back in beer.
I'll think about it.
It's just an
Tuesday,
idea.
Taco Tuesday. Wednesday, trivia.
Wednesday.
No, wings.
Wings.
Wings
on Wednesday. $60
Thursday
a wing?
trivia.
Thursday trivia.
Now,
60 cent wings?
Are you going to move trivia on Thursdays with Thursday night football?
Probably.
I mean,
Yeah,
more people are
I
going to
haven't
come in
gotten
for
that
trivia
far.
than watch a football game anyways. You never know.
Yeah, you never know.
Depending on who's playing on Thursday.
Yeah.
I mean,
if it's an Eagles game on Thursday, that's going to be hit and miss.
oh, Eagles game, fuck it, trivia's canceled. Because I won't be playing.
You won't be hosting.
Yeah.
I'd still be playing because fuck the Eagles, but that's me.
Yeah, that's just coming from a Redskins fan.
Yeah, you know what? But you know what? I go to Madison.
Redskins fan?
I
Yeah.
am a Redskins
Yeah.
fan. Yeah, Pottsville's first team. That's Pennsylvania's first team, the Redskins.
Pennsylvania's, okay.
Last time I
But-
checked, I'm pretty sure it was the Pottsville Maroons.
Pottsville Maroons went from Pottsville to Boston, then from Boston to Washington, and became the Washington Redskins. History.
I did not know that.
Yep. So when you say you hate the Redskins, it means you hate Pottsville, and that means you're a bad person. Friday nights,
Guilty.
usually some bands.
No bands on Friday. Actually, what we're going to be pushing for is doing like an open mic, open jam kind of thing.
Nice.
Basically, I'm going to set up the instruments, and anybody who wants to come in and make some noise, come on down. You
I
know?
love it. That's a great idea.
And really, it doesn't have to be just music, but poetry, comedy, anything.
So
I
a standard
figure-
open mic.
Yeah, basically. I figure, you know what, Friday nights belongs to the bros and hoes crowd that wants to go out and shake their ass and, you know, do whatever they can to get laid, and that's great. I have no problem with that.
That's not here.
I went to Woody's last Friday, and it was phenomenal. I had a great time. I made a lot of grandpa jokes about myself because I felt like an old man.
All that college scene is just killing us.
And I was kicking ass on beer pong while I'm doing it. I'm like, my damn hip is acting up.
You know what I do at Woody's? What I do at Woody's when like DJ Mo is playing. Shout out to DJ Mo. He's playing like a Friday night at Woody's, and I show up, and I'm like, and as soon as he sees me, he goes, "All right, I'll put it on the rotation." And then what he does is he puts Shoop on, and then I go out on the dance floor with all like fresh 21-year-olds, and then Shoop comes on, I start rapping and dancing. But yeah, so that
I actually saved him one night. I do have a good story about DJ Mo. So the crowd's not into it. The crowd is just completely out of it. It's not often at a Woody's crowd you see them completely out of it. I'm like, watch this. I went over to his computer. I clicked on the song, and he's like, really? I'm like, wait. This next song ends. My song comes on. Shania Twain, Man, I Feel Like a Woman. Every single girl in that crowd got on the dance floor, and the crowd's back into it. He's like, how did you know? And I'm like, dude, I love that song. If I love that song and I know it's going to bring your crowd back, that's the song you need to play.
Saturday night, usually you try to get some
Saturday night is the night for live bands, full bands. We've got nothing coming up Saturday. Anyone who wants to fill in.
Might have to plug that
Saturday,
on the website.
Saturday, August 10th, we've got Fallen Pride, and it's actually one of my bartenders. We're celebrating her 21st birthday.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
is it Sadie?
Sadie's 21st birthday, so it's going to be a good party.
Sadie's
We're gonna have a
awesome.
great
Is
time.
Sadie working that night, or is she off that night?
I'm insisting that she works a little bit of it because that is good money for a bartender to work on your birthday.
Yeah.
She'd be stupid not to.
Happy birthday to me. Turn around, and by the end of the night, it's all going to be back in the register.
So Brad and Tyler are her cousins in
Yeah.
Fallen Pride too. So it's it's going to be a family party, but it's going to be a great time.
Nice.
And then
Sunday's usually acoustic outside.
Sunday, usually acoustic, usually outside. Not every Sunday though.
Yeah.
That's going to be something that we kind of have to figure out. Now, once football starts, we're going to be kind of focusing on having
Football,
just
yeah.
the games and cornhole, horseshoes. Not so much music on Sundays, but just activity.
Yeah.
We got a slew of board games over there, and that's kind of what I want Strikers to be. I want it to be the place that people come to hang out, drink some beer, eat some great food.
Getting Strikers on
have
the football
fun.
season does have the Sunday ticket, so if you
I
can't
have-
find
I
your
have
game on
one-
TV, come on down.
I have
right.
one or two possible suggestions, especially if you're going to the board game route. I don't
yeah.
know how hard they are to get or how much money they are. I mean, you have a dartboard that's really not being used, so obviously darts doesn't do very well at Strikers.
That one does.
That way, okay. There's those tables where like the old school Pizza Hut tables where like Miss Pac-Man Android has like 50 games built into it.
Yes.
Oh, you mean the cocktail ones?
Yes. Put like 2 back here.
I would like that. I would like that a lot, actually.
Old school retro
they would
games,
definitely-
especially if you want to start doing more like the retro Sega nights and
Yes.
like if you can plug in. I have a system at home. Like I said, we can work together with the Not Cool in High School. We can do a night of it, like have like video game tournaments here.
Hell yeah, let's do it.
I can hook up. I have an original Xbox that 4 controllers can plug into. Obviously, if everyone doesn't get drunk and destroy stuff, I can bring in like the original like Super Nintendo Mario Kart, and we can do like Mario Kart tournaments or stuff like that, and have a lot of fun.
I'd be into that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. People don't get drunk here. We're very responsible.
Yeah, but
So,
video game and booze and people snap controllers and
so I know we usually do this at the end of the show.
we're pretty much there.
We've had 5 beers. What was your favorite?
The IPA, EYEPA. I'd go. All right, so for me,
Wilma's.
I go Wilma's first, followed by Abbey's, followed by
Touche.
Touche, and
And then if you had your choice between the 2 coffee beers,
I would
which
go
one?
Thrilla and Vanilla first.
Thrilla and
I will,
vanilla first.
I will be right back. I gotta pee.
We're wrapping up. Can you hold it for
wrapping up.
13 seconds?
Hold it.
Okay.
All right.
I held it for end game.
Give me your lineup and then you go pee.
Okay. I actually like the Thrill and Vanilla.
That'd be
first.
number 1.
What's
Okay.
that? That would be that one.
Mhm.
I actually like the steak cake,
So you go 2 stouts first.
and then Wilma's.
All right. Awesome. Go pee. Do you have anything you want? You have nothing to plug. Get out of here. You're here all the
Go
time.
pee. Go pee. I know you're going to have a hard time believing this, Tony, But I'm going with the Thrill and Vanilla first.
Thrill and Vanilla first.
Followed by Abbey's, then Wilma's.
All right.
And that's rare for me to put a dark beer as my favorite.
There you go.
I
know you like them all, but you have to have something you prefer to drink.
My favorite has always been the Thriller and Vanilla, so I got to go with that one as my number one. And
that's 3 number ones so far.
The Wilma's is definitely my number 2.
Is that because you had a drunken night on and didn't realize it?
Oh, no, I only had one drunken night that I told you about. I had many drunken nights.
We actually, when we were at Trogs, we did the sample tasting, and I drank a Mad Elf, and I drank it, and I went, because it literally brought me back to the one night I had a really bad night with Mad Elf.
That is me on Miller Lite and Jaeger.
Yeah.
That is me on Miller Lite and Jaeger.
So as we wrap up here, any last things you want to plug, talk about, get out there?
Well, next Sunday we're going to be doing it all again, right?
Yeah.
So
come on out next Sunday and
if
join
I
us.
forgot anything today, I'll remember it for next week, and definitely support your local music scene.
Yes, absolutely. Dave?
Whether it's here or anywhere.
This upcoming Thursday, I will not be on the show for Tornado Tag because I will be with my mom. I won 4 tickets to go see the Goo Goo Dolls and Train with a limo.
Nice.
So, and then this weekend and the following weekend, we have the Make-A-Wish Moms tournament out there in Minersville. Come on out. They have a raffle basket table. Come out and get your prize on. Come out and check out the games. Make a donation. It's all for a good cause. Me and my dad donate our time umpiring the games. After this, I'm heading back over there. So come on out and check it out. Maybe pick up a cool prize or two and make a donation. They have food. They have no alcohol, of course. You got food. You got prizes. You can check out a few. These games are actually very competitive for women over 26 years old who either have children or don't. These games get very competitive, and it's a very nice game to watch.
Yeah. All I got is check the links below. If you, like I said, if you want to make a donation to the podcast to help us grow, it's always welcome. Thank you so much if you do so. Like and subscribe while you're there. And like I said, the way that's going to work now is all of our live show will no longer be live until we get to the technology where we can go back to doing that. I want to put quality out first. Come see Strikers. Come hang out. You got their lineup here. Come and support. They have a lot of cool things.
And big shout out to Mark Kirby, Larry Lane down at Double Barley Brewery for hooking the brother up. Not once, but twice. See, I actually stopped there on my way to Florida and loaded up on beer, drank it. So I had to stop on the way back to get more for the show. For the show.
How are they priced, by the way, before we end? How's their pricing if you stop in?
If you're in the tasting room?
No. Just pick up a 6-pack or a 12-pack and head out.
Crap, I don't remember. I know
you can check it. You can check it out on their website.
Let's put it this way: I was pretty much close to piss broke on my way back from vacation. So if I could still afford a good case,
yeah.
Now is this like a mixed sample case?
Basically, yeah. So
mix of 6.
The Wilmas, the Thriller and Vanilla, and the Steak Cake all came in 4-packs. The Abbeys and the Touche came in 6, and I think the 6s were $8. And I think the 4-packs were 11.
Okay,
that's pretty good.
Yeah,
that is pretty good.
Nice.
And the food, big props to the kitchen down at the Double Barley Taste Room. So if you're on I-95 going through North Carolina, definitely stop there. Smithfield, North Carolina. I don't remember the exit because.
Check it out.
I was tired.
Check it out on Untapped. Also, you can follow all of us at Untapped. I will. Mine is Bangin Beers Podcast. Tony. Yours is
Cold Wolf 35.
Yours is X Raptor.
X Raptor X570.
And mine is. I didn't even know I have a name.
Yep.
I have a name.
Mine is Carlito Loco.
Carlito Loco.
All right. So huge thank you to Carlito for our Carlos for having us here. Check out Strikers and check out Double Barley Oak on their website if you're in North Carolina. Check it out and come hang out as the Strikers. We will be obviously if you're watching this now next Sunday. By the time you're watching this, you can come hang out with us that day, and we're gonna have a lot of the Skook Stock bands here hanging out and having a good time. So we'll see you then. For that, we're gonna wrap it up with Bangin Beers Podcast. Guys, check it out. Take it easy.